Hi, kindergarten. It's Mrs. Huaco, and it's Tuesday, May 19th, and it's story time. But before I get started, you might have noticed the room is different. That is because we're having some construction done at our house, and the other room that I normally read from is right near where all this banging is going on. And so I am actually in my daughter's room, my older daughter, who is currently away at college. So she's not in this room. Um, so hopefully it won't be as noisy, okay? So we are reading another Curious George book. Curious George Goes to an Ice Cream Shop. That's the title. And the author, who's the author? The person who wrote the book. And in this case, the author wrote and drew the pictures. So the authors, two authors, Margaret and H.A. Race. And they collaborated, which means they worked together to write the story and draw or illustrate the pictures. Oh my, I can still hear the drilling. We're having a fence put up in our backyard. So, anyways, all right, so the title page, Curious George Goes to an Ice Cream Shop. So I want you to think about, what do you think happens at an ice cream shop? And what happens when Curious George goes to an ice cream shop? All right, let's see if what you think happens. All right. George and his friend were cleaning the house. "We've worked hard today," said the man. "Let's treat ourselves to some ice cream." What they're doing, they're cleaning up, looks like George's bedroom, huh? "Look, George, there's a new ice cream place in town," said the man with the yellow hat. "Let's give it a try." "We've come to try your ice cream," the man said to the owner. "I'm glad someone has," said Mr. Herb. "Come on in. I just opened the place and no one knows I'm here yet." "Well, I'll have a strawberry cone," said the man with the yellow hat. Mr. Herb dipped out a scoop of strawberry. George was curious. Could he scoop ice cream too? Well, we know he can make pancakes. I bet he could do ice cream too. "I have some errands to do, George," said the man. "Stay here until I come back. You can have some ice cream, but don't get into trouble." What do you think's going to happen? When will the man with the yellow hat learn? "Take your time deciding, George," said Mr. Herb. "I'll start on a special order I have to fill." George couldn't make up his mind. There were so many flavors to choose from. Mr. Herb was busy filling a bowl with ice cream. "This is my first big order. It's for a party, and it has to be just right." Look at all the different flavors he's got. And look at George over here. He's looking at all those different flavors. What's your favorite ice cream? Just then the phone rang. "That might be another order," said Mr. Herb, and he went to answer it. The next thing you know, George had climbed onto the counter and he picked up the scoop. Uh-oh. He dipped into the banana ice cream and put it in the bowl. Then he dug into the strawberry, the nutty walnut, the raspberry, and the chocolate. Soon there was a mountain of ice cream in the bowl. George was just about to put vanilla on top of peppermint when George, he looks angry. George, Mr. Herb yelled. That's not what my customer ordered. Now I have to start all over again, he said. Get away from here. Mr. Herb was angry. Yeah, because now what is he going to do with all that ice cream, right? He can't really put it back. He's got to make a whole new batch. George was scared. He ran over to the other counter in front of the window. Ooh, look at this counter. There were jars of cherries, nuts, coconut, whipped cream, and all kinds of sauces. There was even a bowl of bananas. Now, George is a monkey. He really likes bananas. George put some banana in a dish. Then he added raspberries, chocolate chips, and whipped cream. Ooh, that sounds really good. George was getting hungry. Suddenly there was a tapping on the window. George turned around. Outside there was a crowd watching. Look at them all. Look at his creation. Add some nuts, George, called a boy. Try the sprinkles, said a girl. Don't forget the cherry on top. How could George forget the cherry? Just as George was about to taste his masterpiece, Mr. Herb came over. He was still angry. But before Mr. Herb could scold George, the crowd rushed in. Look at everybody. Oh, Mr. Herb is angry. What's going to happen? Think he's going to stay angry? I'd like a raspberry sundae, said a man. And I'll have a banana split, said another. Mr. Herb could hardly keep up. The orders kept pouring in. Oh, he looks pretty happy now, huh? Now that business is good. Finally, everyone was served. Thanks for all those customers, George, Mr. Herb said. You messed up my big order, but you sure made up for it. Just then, the man with the yellow hat came back. Have you finally decided what flavor you want, George? He sure did, said Mr. Herb. What do you think it is? A little of everything. Doesn't that look yummy? The end. So, George had a lot of fun making all those sundaes, huh? Yeah. All right. Okay, so what I want you to think about for your journal entry, and again, this is completely optional, okay? But George was working hard, right, cleaning his house, and then the man with the yellow hat said, hey, let's go treat ourselves, right? We've worked hard, and let's check out that ice cream shop. Well, what happened? What did George do? Okay, so the sentence I'll put out there for you is, let's see, something like, George cleaned his house, then he went to someplace and did something, okay? So we got some spelling words in there, and I think you can figure out which one. We just did a bunch of WH words, okay? So we can try to put some of those in there, all right? Okay, so that's your journal entry. Now, on Friday, Fun Friday, we have another baking project, okay? So I'm going to show you the list for Friday's Fun Friday video, okay? And it kind of deals with ice cream. So we are making cone cakes. And so what a cone cake is we make cupcakes in an ice cream cone. Not the ice cream cones with the pointy bottoms, but with the flat bottoms. Sometimes they call them cup cones. So this is what you're going to need. All right, here's the list of the ingredients. All right, flour, sugar, baking powder, salt, milk, probably like 2% or whole milk is best, vegetable oil, vanilla, egg, and those flat bottom ice cream cones, all right? A muffin tin, because we stand the ice cream cones in the muffin tin so they don't fall over in the oven. And then, and so when we mix all of this stuff up, we need a medium to large size bowl and a large whisk, timer, because we're going to do a lot of whisking, and then ice cream fixings. What kind of ice cream sundae on your cupcake cone would you like to make? All right, I'll let you pick those fixings. All righty, so that's for Friday. And now you have your journal entry with Curious George. I hope you liked the story, and hopefully that noise in the background wasn't too obnoxious, right? And I look forward to seeing you guys on Friday. Have a great Tuesday.